Annie enjoys doing all of the meal prep, or at least she says she enjoys doing all the meal prep and food planning and everything. I know that if I just eat what is put down in front of me, that I'm going to be in good shape. And that is, it's a stress, I think, that so many people have, and probably so many of your listeners have, of trying to figure all this stuff out, that I just don't even think about. And it has really been wonderful. As like I said, as much as I kid around about it, it's one of the best things about Annie is her willingness to do all of that food prep and to take care of both me and of Jocelyn. It's wonderful.
So my inventory stuff is okay, is what you're saying?
I mean, I'm still gonna tease you about it, and I'm still gonna like just be amazed.
I know when
the
like
fact that,
one
like,
chip is missing.
yeah, like, hey, who ate this? Who ate half a granola bar 3 days ago? Oh my God, seriously?
Yeah, no, I think to Brian's point, I was on my own journey to be healthy prior to this. It was flawed, but I was on my own journey because I realized after college and I lived off of like microwave meals and little vegetables, I discovered vegetables, like just straight up vegetables, like steaming them in a rice cooker.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better. And my mom's really into her own investigation of the right food and vitamins and things. So we had our own thing in my family, but Nicole helped be like, well, that's helpful. That's true. That's not so true. And so I really like having the source. So I know how to get away with because I love the bacon wrap meat thing. Like that makes me really excited right now. It also makes me feel junky unless we find the good bacon from the co-op near us. So it's like, I like having someone who knows it, because then I don't have to try and Google it and pretend I know what I'm talking about.
So do you still have that juicer?
Oh yeah, it's good for.
Like, do you juice beets at all or anything like that?
No, but that would be a good thing.
I remember I got a juicer.
Oh yeah, it was shortly after
with the hope of juicing beets, and I would get like a big bag of beets, and it would make a half cup of liquid, the whole damn bag.
Right. That's the thing, yeah.
And it was disgusting. So then you're like, let me throw some cucumber in here. And
terrible.
That was still gross. And then you try and it was just like, oh my God.
Yeah, beet juice.
But I ended up selling it, or I don't know if it just went to Goodwill or whatever, because I was like, this is stupid. I'm just gonna eat a beet.
Yeah, those were good choices, Annie. Well done.
Yeah, thanks. Well done.
We can investigate again. It sits in our basement. It's the Omega, and it was someone at work, and she was reading Google about how to get your vegetables, and we even split an Amazon order of nice glass bottles to drink our.
Oh wow!
And we were so convinced we were nailing it, because I felt that buzz when I drank it, and she was saying because there's no fiber, and it's like mainlining, zucchinis and stuff or whatever. I wasn't putting in zucchinis, but it was spinach and pineapple and cucumber.
Yeah. Robin, before you met Nicole, were you a big dieter, or like doing stuff like that, where you kind of like read things and then did the trends, or, like that kind of thing?
No, I was just trying to feel okay.
You were vegetarian at one point, though.
This is true. It was like a 3 or 4 month kick. I was living in San Francisco at the time. That helped. And I did the weekday veg thing. There's a TED talk on it. Of some guy where it's like, let's try and eat vegetables or not meat in the week, then you can have meat on the weekends. And I appreciated that. But I ate tons of fat to compensate my appetite. So because I wasn't sure how to satisfy either my hunger or my illusion of hunger without the meat.
Yeah.
Which I haven't got back to because I'm scared to try it.
Brian, were you doing diets and stuff prior to meeting me?
Well, yes. Yeah, I mean, I was probably like the typical. I was the person that you guys would deal with, the person that would be a regular listener of your podcast, in that, like, I would see, okay, well, if you want to lose weight, you don't eat carbohydrates, or you know what I mean, like.
Yeah. So
I was eating, like all the healthy choice, low carb crap, the little hockey puck sandwich rounds, like just all that sort of thing, because the only source that I had for any of this knowledge was just whatever you would see online or whatever. And at that point, I didn't know enough to be able to cut through all of that BS that's out there.
Yeah.
And at the time, I don't feel like it was as intense.
Yeah. Right.
It just wasn't as intense as it is now. And one of my favorite things about Brian is before we were even dating, so this is like, I had just met him, he had, exposed, his vulnerable self and told me what he was eating. And one of the things was a Healthy Choice chocolate ice cream bar.
Well, yeah, Annie is a little bit maybe on the blunt side sometimes. And so I'd put down like, here's everything that I eat. And her exact response to me was, you eat like a fucking woman.
That's hilarious.
Absolutely.
Which like literally a day one of working with this new client.
Sweet.
Yep.
Drop an F-bomb and
Absolutely.
let it out there. But it's it's amazing how many dudes are doing that. And so it was nice to be able to help him, in that way and everything. But yeah, it's just
So yes, I've done that and it feels good because it's like, yeah, I'm doing this thing. Like, yes, that feels good to do those things. I like compartmentalizing things, and that I've done. But you reminded me, and I just wanted to add in case you had opinion, both of you, was my dad was really selling the South Beach diet to me a few years ago. And he said it was really helping him shed his little Buddha belly, because that's kind of where his weight would store. So I have the book. I tried it for a bit where I was like I'm trying to think, was I putting like certain kind of spreadable cheese on my celery sticks at work as snacks instead of eating? I could make it a week on that. And then I was like, this is
restrictive.
A lot of work.
A lot of work, yeah.
A lot of work, yeah.
So.
Yeah, God, I haven't heard that term, South Beach diet, in so long. I mean, that's what's so crazy is these things come and go, or they ultimately just transform into something else.
Oh, completely.
That's just, we just have a different name for it now.
Yeah,
which
that's
is
exactly
crazy.
right. That's exactly right.
Did you do South Beach, Brian?
No, I never did any like specific diet or anything like that. I just tried to basically not eat too many carbs.
Right.
But it was never in the sense of like looking, I have no idea how many carbs were in one of those stupid ice cream bars. You know what I mean? It was just like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to use
Healthy
zucchini
choice
instead of pasta, and I'm going to, use the sandwich rounds instead of a slice of bread, and just stupid crap like that. Was stupid.
Brian, to give Nicole and I a little bit of a plug.
Yeah, so I mean, like my whole backstory was, one of a pretty substantial weight loss, and then, kind of trying to get like the infamous last 5 pounds. So I started running, got addicted to running, and did a couple marathons and crash and burn during the marathons because obviously, as I said, I wasn't eating carbohydrates, so it's going to be pretty tough to do well in a marathon without that.
Yeah.
But my coach, said, hey, I know this woman, she's a great athlete and she's a dietitian and she works with athletes and everything else. You should give her a call. And it was Annie. So she helped me with all that stuff. And I, within the matter of about 6 or 7 months, I lost the last 5 pounds plus 10, 12 more. And it was all based on, going from, I was probably eating 12 to 1,400 calories a day prior to Annie. And then, after 3,500 to 4,000, depending on where I was at in my training cycle.
Yes.
And it was so counterintuitive, obviously, because all you ever hear about weight loss is you have to cut calories, more calories out, over calories in is how you lose weight. And so I was extremely skeptical in the beginning of like, this, how is this going to work? This doesn't make any sense. And she explained it to me as you would have to explain something to a child, and with lots of analogies,
pictures,
and it made sense. And I am of the type of person that, if I'm going to pay somebody for a service, any kind of coach or whatever, I'm going to actually listen to what they do, which I know in your line of work doesn't actually always happen, which is kind of strange to me. Why somebody would write you a check every 2 weeks to give them advice and then not act on it. But that's another story, I guess. So it's unbelievable what having a dietitian can do. People who actually know what the hell they're talking about. I can't recommend it enough. If you're struggling with any sort of food problems or eating problems or athletic performance or anything like that, can't recommend it enough.
Robin, does Nicole have any idiosyncrasies?
I don't know if I noticed any real quirks. I just noticed like has a lot of energy and she eats well. So. And I often have times of energy, but I prefer to be on the couch.
Yeah.
Basically we get along great in general, but just the dietitian aspect is helpful because I have strived to be healthier, but I also am lazy. So to blend them both, I want to know the truth of like, what does eating this do for me? And prior to meeting Nicole, I would learn a little bit because I would eat something and I'd feel like crap. And I'm like, well, is it because of that or this? And I never know. Is it the quality? So I think it's just knowing, how much to eat, what kind of something to eat, whether it's like, a grass-fed certain cut of steak, or if I can eat bison or chicken or fish. And so I've totally cut back on, I don't buy sandwich meat, like pre-packaged sandwich meat anymore, even though I love it. But noticing if I go to the deli and get it cut, I don't feel tired based off of my, dictionary dietitian wife of like, yes, when you're eating that, this is what's going to slow you down. So I just have confidence that I live a little more balanced without having to fret.
Yeah, that's good though. That's good, Corks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, he didn't mention though, I do put my salad in the microwave every day because I hate cold salads.
That's weird. Yeah.
That's weird, man.
I know.
And she doesn't like cold water.
Weird.
I don't like cold.
Oh, I don't either.
I just
Why is that?
I just don't like cold things. So it's when I put it in the microwave, it has to be room temperature. That's what I mean. So if you microwave it for 15 seconds, it takes that chill out. So it's still cold. Don't get me wrong, but it's not so like, oh my gosh, that's a cold salad. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's not bad. I don't care for cold. I don't mind lukewarm water too.
Yeah.
Maybe my salad, I prefer chilled, normally chilled.
Annie, but what about your preference on hot food?
Hot food needs to be literally lava hot.
Oh, really?
Like, the soup isn't boiling. It needs to be heated up a little bit more. Like,
my baked beans, I keep in a separate container because if you put them on your plate, they spread, therefore they cool.
Wow.
Ice cream obviously is cold. Do you put ice cream in the microwave?
Yeah. So
you microwave cold foods and I microwave already hot foods.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Other quirks, Brian, that you notice besides that one?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you're kind of a weird person.
It's true.
No, if somebody asked me like what's the weirdest thing about you when it comes to food, it would be the fact that everything has to be at minimum of 400 degrees internal temperature before you eat it.
Might I add that Nicole likes to steal your popcorn?
Yes, I do.
We love popcorn.
I won't steal it. I ask first.
Well, true.
Oh, do you ask?
I don't eat it all at once because it's not part of my meal. It's my after meal snack. It's like watching a movie at home. So if I eat, I'm gonna get asked, "Are you done with your popcorn?"
Because I'm still hungry and I'm gonna eat that.
And last night we were watching a Marky Mark shoot 'em up movie, so I was a little bit in that Boston attitude. I'm like, "Are you effing kidding me?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry. I didn't eat this."
I'm sorry. Yes, here's your popcorn.
I got caught up in the movie. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Brian knows there's a toll when I make things for him.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Yes, I suppose that could be another quirk. So, like,
It is.
Every single thing that I have been served in the 5 years that we have been together has at least one bite taken out of it.
Oh, awesome.
Every sandwich, you name it, like open up the container and like at a table full of, coworkers and does your sandwich have a bite taken out of it? It does. Yes. That's just the price that I pay for having meal service.
Wow.
Well, I have to make sure it tastes okay before I send it and someone else eats it. Even if it is a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, you have to make sure the peanut butter is well distributed.
Yes.
Have you ever, before we met you guys, had either of you or any of the four of us been on a date or had been dating someone that did not appreciate that? It reminds me of that Friends episode where Joey is on a date and she keeps taking fries off his plate.
Oh, that's
and
funny.
he can't handle it and hits her hand and is like, "That's my food." Anyone ever have that experience?
I had that and I didn't like it.
Wow.
It's
it was
different,
an
isn't it?
ex-girlfriend and she didn't ask and it pissed me off because I like fries just like that.
Just like Joey,
cute.
right?
It's not cute.
It's like, don't touch my food, but I'll take your food.
But I really want to try yours. Yeah,
exactly.
Funny.
Oh, well, this has been really great.
Yeah, this has been fun, guys.
This is fun. I know.
Thanks for both of
Interesting.
you for donating your time to put this together. So